What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, and this is a milestone watch video. All right, Carmelo Anthony has had a very successful return to the NBA after a year absence since his departure with the Houston Rockets. Well, he was blamed by the media for everything that was wrong with that team, and the Portland Trailblazers, although they, are not quite in the playoff picture. They are, I think that they will eventually get into that conversation as we get into the latter part of the season. I think they will climb. I kind of agree with Ticket. He did a video talking about what the problem is with that team, and I do think CJ McCollum is not a good fit. Not with Carmelo Anthony there. CJ sort of sometimes just gets into these modes where, like I said, I haven't seen a lot of Portland, but from what I've seen from CJ, when he gets it going, don't get me wrong, he's a remarkable scorer. But sometimes he gets into these modes where he takes dumb shots and he starts to think that he's the world's greatest scorer. Like he can't miss any type of shot he puts up. And he starts putting up stupid shots. And he starts he'll have a game where he's going 9 of 13. He's hot. He's scintillating. He's tearing it up. But then he starts taking these stupid ass fucking shots. And he goes from being 9 from 13 from the floor and, maybe 3 or 4 from 3-point range. And he ends up 4 of 12 from 3-point range. And he'll go from 9 from 13 to 11 for 27 or some shit. And then Portland loses. And then Dame or Carmelo didn't have a lot of points. And everybody says, well, because they don't look at field goal percentages or field goals. They'll say, well, look, Dame had 30. These other guys got to step up. No! CJ got to stop taking these stupid-ass shots. But I digress. But Carmelo, this year's averaging 16 points per game. And he's shooting a career-high 39%. Well, not a career high, but I think it's one of his highest marks of his career. 39% from 3-point range. 81% from the foul line. And right now, Carmelo has 9,210 made career field goals. 21st all time. Number 20 is Vince Carter, who, of course, right now is playing in his final season, his NBA record 22nd season with the Atlanta Hawks. And he's only 19 field goals ahead of Carmelo. And at the rate that Vince Carter scores now, he rarely scores in double figures. Carmelo will probably pass him, I think, maybe even in the next 2 or 3 games. And he'll move into 20th place all time. So to be top 20 all time in career-made field goals for a guy who some people say can't fill it up anymore, can't score anymore, can't do it in this type of league, this era, may not be suited for him. He's proven all of the haters wrong. And after he passes Vince Carter, who's going to be I think he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Maybe some people think second ballot, but I think Vince is first ballot. Just the fact that, the longevity, the record longevity as far as seasons played, and, how he's been able to transition from being Vince, half man, half amazing, to what he is now, and to not have the ego that, well, I don't want to get into that, but after Vince Carter, he's going to pass, I just looked at the list. I think he's going to pass Moses Malone, the great Moses Malone, in career-made field goals. And then after he passes Moses Malone, he's going to pass, I believe it was, let's see. Yeah, the great Oscar Robertson. 2 of the greatest players in the history of the NBA. And remember, Carmelo has said that he has no plans on retiring anytime soon. So if he comes back next year, other names that he will pass will probably likely be Robert Parrish, Patrick Ewing, and maybe even Dominique Wilkins. So this is a guy, and barring injury, of course. So this is a guy that's going to pass Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer as he moves up the ladder. And he's going to pass, barring injury, Kevin Garnett, who I believe had 26,071 points in his career before the season is done. So anybody that sits up there and says this guy still can't play, they don't know what they're talking about. Carmelo Anthony for his career is a 34.8% career three-point shooter. The first 4 years of his career, he rarely shot threes. He shot fewer than one three-pointer a game, I believe. Matter of fact, I think it was more than just the first 4 years of his career. Let me look up something. I want to check something out. First year of his career. No, I was incorrect with that. He shot about 2 3-point attempts a game. He didn't shoot 3-point attempts until 2010, 2011. All right. So if you go from the first year that he attempted 3-point shots attempts per game, which is 2010, 2011, and you go from then, you go to now, Carmelo's a 36, 37% career three-point shooter. You know, I don't want to like cherry pick like that, but still, he's a very good three-point shooter. You know, is he, Kiki Vandeweghe, or is he like one of those type of guys, those type of shooters, or is he Larry Bird or Kevin Durant as far as outside shooter? Not quite, but he's a very good three-point shooter, and he's proven it this year so far. He's really been working hard on his game. He's really been working hard on his conditioning. He's playing very good defense this year. Maybe it could have been a knock on him earlier, but he's playing at the age that he is, and having been out the NBA a year. The way he's playing is very, very impressive. And almost, to be honest with you, I want to be completely honest with you. It's kind of an indictment on the so-called superiority of the modern-day player, which is something I have to always battle with people. Oh, man, this guy from that era, man, yeah, he did that, but the player today is just too athletic, and the player today is this and that, and I'm like, okay, well, why do these guys get injured so freaking much? I don't see any, are the players today bigger? No doubt about it. They're a little bit bigger than players were in the past. Are they stronger? Maybe, generally speaking. Are they faster? I can make an argument that the players of the late 90s and early 2000s were actually a little bit more athletic than the guys are now. Yeah, I think the players of the late 90s into the early 2000s, and I think those crop of guys were a little bit more athletic than the guys today. Generally speaking, you had, some high flyers in the league back then. Jason Richardson and Desmond Mason and Sean Marion. You know what I'm saying? Fred Jones, Darvin Ham. Kenyon Martin. Like that era of guys, athletically, prime Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Tracy McGrady. Vince Carter. Actually, I think the guys 20 years ago were more athletic, generally speaking, than the players of today. If you want to be like, if you're talking about like the shit they can do in the game, like athletically, because the game was predicated more on that. Now it's predicated more on Euroball, and James Harden isn't more athletic than those guys. Russell would probably fit better in that era because of the way the game was played. As far as like, fast break dunks and and breakaway dunks and shit like that, and alley-oop slams, and, not as many threes were taken. That wasn't quite getting more mid-range. Yeah. So, anyway, Sean Kemp, even though Kemp was starting to blow up a little bit by the late 90s. But, yeah, but my point is, though, Carmelo can play in any era because he's a great player, and any great player can adjust to any era. And as he's in the twilight of his career, he's putting up numbers that, are comparable, somewhat comparable to a guy that many people saying is legit legit all-star, and like Chris Middleton. Like Chris Middleton's best numbers are 18 points. Carmelo, in the twilight of his career, is putting up 16. So that's pretty much all I got to say, man. Shout out to Carmelo Anthony. Great player. I've been critical of Carmelo in the past because I don't really like volume scorers too much. I just don't think, with the exception of a few guys, volume scorers, I think it's hard to build a championship team around a volume scorer. I think a volume scorer works better as a tandem with another guy. But I never would ever say that Carmelo Anthony can't play in the NBA. Anybody that says that don't know what the fuck they're talking about.